Going
Go after
in.
that.
Going in.
All right,
Come
yo, what up, what up,
on.
what up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Live at 5 with Lucky's Life Lessons. We back with another live stream. I hope everybody's doing well. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. I appreciate your support. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up when you come into the room because it'll help live stream get out to more people. And the more people who engage in the live stream, the more diverse the conversation will be. Also, today's live stream will be open to callers. And if you want to call in, the number is 844-325-2859. Once again, that's 844-325-2859. And the number should be scrolling down at the bottom of the screen. The calls will be taken in the order in which I get them. And if it's taking too long, hop in the comment section and let me know that you know what I'm saying, you on the line waiting, because I got a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? So let me see. I just jumped on stage. What up, everybody? What's going on? We got Mims in the building, got Nobi in the building, got Lakita in the building once again. Also got Chocolate God. Welcome back, Chocolate. And we have a newcomer to the stage. He goes by the name of Mim No S. What's good, everybody?
We
What up?
good? Everything's good.
Chilling.
Everything's good. Everybody good?
Yeah, we
Can y'all
good.
everybody can see me and hear me clearly?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes,
you
we
sound
can.
real professional. Yes, yes.
Yes,
What's up?
we
What's up?
can.
And I appreciate it. So look, we're just gonna jump right in. Also, Mr. Nobody might be joining us a little bit later. But we'll see about that. All right. So look, I'm gonna just jump right into it. Okay. You know, my channel is all about masculinity. I talk to a lot of men about, being masculine and all of that. And so ladies, of course, y'all thing is femininity, right? I want to know, how much does masculinity and femininity play? How important is it when it comes to relationships, right? Is there an importance for a man to be masculine and a woman to be feminine in order for a relationship to work? What do y'all think?
I would say absolutely. Everybody has their roles that they need to play.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
Unless it's reverse and the female is running the show. But yeah, I agree.
Anybody else? What's up? What's up?
I mean, does it play a role? Nowadays, I don't know because everyone is doing their own thing. Nothing is really how it's supposed to be, so to speak. So you do have the men being a little feminine, you have the women being a little bit more masculine. So I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it could work both ways. I mean, but normally, if the woman is feminine and the man is masculine, it does like link better. I mean, because you can't have a masculine. I'm talking about like a masculine woman and a masculine man. That's not gonna work because somebody's gonna get upset about something. So somewhere there has to be a middle ground for both sides.
Okay. What about you, Chocolate?
I agree.
You agree with what Mims said,
Yeah,
or you just
I agree with what she said. I agree.
okay? All right. Well, okay. Cool. 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 So let me ask you this: do you think masculinity and femininity is taught? You know what I'm saying? From like an early age or at some point in time, is it learned behavior? Is it learned mindset, or do you think as boys, you just supposed to just naturally grow up and be, what I'm saying, masculine, and as girls, they're just naturally, what I'm saying, supposed to grow up and be feminine?
I
I think
think.
it's a I
Go ahead. Go ahead.
think it's taught all depending on how you was raised. But it seems like people from like 20 years ago was different. Like everything was different. So I think it's a taught thing. I don't think it's learned. Like how you want to learn. anything if somebody doesn't teach it to you. Or how would it come naturally? What would it come naturally from? You know what I mean? If it didn't start at some point. Um, the way it is now is crazy. It seems like you get flack or you get like look at all that flack that Anthony Mackie going against now. But what do you say about his kids and how you feel they should be raised? Stuff like that is crazy. Like it shouldn't even be a question. But that's the world we in today.
Okay.
I mean, you could be taught to be masculine or you could be taught to be feminine and still end up being a part of the alphabet. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You could have a very masculine father, have him you go through the army, you've done all the basketball and this and that, and still be a part of the alphabet. So
Okay, I wasn't going that far with it. Like I'm just
It's true. It's true.
hold on. We going
I'm just
you
It's
always
true
going
though.
to the extreme. I'm
I'm just letting you know it's the truth because you said is it
like,
taught?
yeah,
Because
But she's giving her perspective.
well, because you asked if it's taught. Because you could teach them. Even a girl, a mother could teach their daughter to go through the steps of wearing heels and dresses and going to the prom and going to these big special events and wearing dresses, and then still be a part of the alphabet. Hard, like that
Oh,
wasn't me. I don't like the dresses. I never did.
okay.
what you want to say to that now?
It's still going extreme, man. I'm just talking about
I'm
the
telling you the
relationship.
truth.
I got you. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't even
My
write
fault.
down for
You
that.
gotta be ready for everything when
Yeah,
you.
you know what? I don't even think like that. So
And
that's why
neither, and maybe for me, sometimes I just
you just I got you. Anybody else want to jump in there with their thoughts?
I think it's something that's definitely taught.
You
you
think it's
can't
thought?
teach them that. Oh, sorry, you on my
You
side.
can you can
Sorry.
teach people stuff, but it's their choice when they get of age how they want to live their life. But it is still something that's taught.
Okay. All right. Nobi,
I kind of go with them too on this one, on that part,
it's
because you
thought.
can teach someone to be a feminine, and then they can turn out to be masculine,
Okay.
and vice versa.
Okay. Um.
At least I think. Wait a minute, I gotta take something back because I know that we had a question. We had a discussion before talking about how can a woman teach a boy how to be masculine. So let's just do a little monkey wrench in there.
I can see that.
All right, that's cool. But you know what? I appreciate you for even saying that. You know what I mean? Some people would just stand their ground and stand on something so hard that even when the argument can't be won, they're still gonna stand on. You know what I'm saying? They can't even look and say, "Well, you know what? Wow, okay. I didn't. Now that I'm looking at it from this point of view, yeah, what I said before, you know what I'm saying, it might not be accurate." So,
But sometimes people stand on that because they haven't seen it in fruition
nah, some people see it and will
and still
still
listen.
stand on it because you know what I'm saying. They don't want to, back
Admit to
down
it.
from the original. Yeah, yeah. So, you know. All right. So, all right. When there's an imbalance, let's just say in a relationship, right? Okay, wait. Let me ask the ladies this. Ladies, can you tell a difference between a man who tends to be more masculine versus more feminine? And when I'm saying masculine and feminine, right? I don't necessarily mean like what Mims is talking about, right? I just mean when it comes to a
Feminine
man being
qualities.
assertive, you know what I'm saying? When a man just having certain qualities that um exude, manhood. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not talking about walking a certain way or talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about the manly qualities that we tend to associate with men.
What's a manly quality, Lucky?
Someone who's assertive, a man who is assertive.
So,
Um,
a womanly quality is not being assertive.
can I finish, or you want me to go? We want to go that as one by one.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No. I'm just asking you which way you want
No,
to
no,
do it.
no. One by one. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so assertive. I believe that's a manly quality. A man who a person who is assertive. Yeah, I think that's a quality or trait of a masculine man. Go ahead, next. What else? Okay, strength. Strength. When it comes to strength, like a man working out, being strong, like strong muscles. I associate that with masculinity.
I think being a leader as well.
You said being a leader as well. Okay, yeah,
Hmm.
I associate that with you know being masculine.
Hmm. I don't agree with that at all.
Which part don't you agree with?
None of that. Because you could have all those qualities in an alphabet person.
So you're saying a man who is okay then. So what would make somebody in that community a part of that community?
The fact that they have someone of their same sex with them as a partner and
So,
living not living with them, but dating them and you know just because they could you could have that same person that's assertive and has muscles and be strong.
but but
I didn't say but nothing.
it's
I
saying,
asked you what was a
no, no,
masculine,
no.
what's a trait of a masculine man? Because
Okay,
I'm trying to understand the
okay.
question.
So that's a trait of being masculine. Let's put it like
It's
that.
a
So
trait. Okay.
if I see certain traits in a woman, I could say that these are typically masculine traits, right? If I have certain traits that I view as feminine, and there's a man who is carrying those traits, I would say that that particular man, you know what I'm saying, is a little more feminine than masculine, right? You understand what I'm saying? So a man can have feminine traits, a woman can have masculine traits.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm not talking about what their preference is when they get together. That's not what I'm
Okay.
talking
Okay.
about. Like,
All right.
you
Because
know
I
what I
was
mean?
just trying to understand the question. You said the I forgot what your question was now. Ah, I'm
Jump
sorry.
into a whole nother situation and now she'll remember.
All right, listen. Let me ask you. Let me ask this question. Let me ask this question. Are there traits that anyone on this panel views as more masculine or more feminine, or is there no such thing as masculine and feminine? It's just what it is. It's a made
Hmm.
up construct. How about that?
I
Is
don't
there
think it's
one?
made up. I think like I said, society now changed everything. It's like you can't have an opinion on anything, you can't say anything, you can't feel any type of way because somebody gonna jump in and oh well that's not right. You shouldn't say that. That's gonna offend somebody. You say that,
Yeah,
that's gonna
everybody's
offend
feelings get
somebody.
hurt. Everybody
We
feelings
didn't
get
have
hurt.
that problem. Like I said, 20 years, 10 years ago, something like that. We didn't even have them problems. You just say what you wanted to say. You had to be tough about it, move on and, keep it pushing. But now nothing is, I don't know if the word is sacred, but you can't say anything. Like you can't have an opinion or anything. Getting in
So,
trouble, like you said, you get in trouble for it.
so
Or
you
you
think
getting chastised for it. Or you getting,
you,
you
you
know.
you you say like what the world is getting soft now?
For real. I'm sure everybody looking at America like, yo, I don't know what's wrong with them. They some suckers. I feel like we are some suckers. Like you can't as you notice that what we talking about. I'm sorry, I don't want to go off the range. But as a straight male, you can't have an opinion. Like as soon as you say something, Yeah.
Okay, so check this out, right? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Memno S. As a man, right? If you know that you're going to be, let's say, chastised or judged, or you're going to be targeted because you have an opinion, and then you choose not to voice your opinion, is that you not standing on your masculinity? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean. In general, would
Um,
you say that that's kind of like a feminine trait because you're scared of any, or don't want to deal with any backlash that you would get?
nah, because some people still say it anyway. It's just
You said some people though. Do you think there
yeah,
are less people now, less men now, who will speak up on whatever it is that's on their mind because of the potential attack that's going to come on the back end?
yeah. I think because if you look at some stuff that people say, how they respond, people are getting the comments, and people be losing their jobs behind it. People like society is just cruel out here. They be shut down their business. It just be a lot. It'd be a lot. And you're like, dang, I just had an opinion. I can't even say how I feel. So
Cancel.
yeah, I think a lot of people don't say anything just because of that.
Okay. Nobi, I got a question for you. Do you think that there are traits that are typically associated, you know what I'm saying, with femininity, and certain traits that are associated with masculinity?
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Chocolate?
I think there's masculinity and femininity energy inside of every human.
Okay.
I
And
like that answer.
it's just like a balance, right? Because in order for a woman to be a woman, we need that masculine energy within ourselves. In order for a man to be a man, he needs that feminine energy inside himself. That's just how I see life.
Okay. So when you say inside, is okay. When you say inside, is there a difference between inside and outside? Like, is there a difference if a man has, his femininity or whatever is internal versus more external?
And then, move on and keep it pushing. But now,
Chocolate.
Oh, no. When I say inside, I mean like, of
Mm.
course, because anything that you do on the internal will come out, will show on the external. Because it's just like what you have in you is what you show on the outside. Um, so it's kind of just like I don't know how to really. I was gonna say it's the energy. It's just the energy that you have, that you need, that's required.
Okay.
Um, and you have to have a certain balance when you're with a certain person, because like someone said, I'm not sure who said it, when it was like, if a man is already masculine, the woman is like too masculine, and nobody's having room to balance there, because they're so in that one energy. There's no yin and yang, it's just yang and yang. That ain't gonna work out. So yeah.
Okay. So do you think that a man is, in a sense, required to maybe suppress some of the um feminine energy and let the masculine energy lead, and vice versa for a woman?
I feel like men go okay, so I feel like this, when I hear men talk about like masculine feminine energy, they're not aware of everything that whole thing means. They're just going off of what they see on the internet or what they heard somebody say, but they don't realize that it's something that you create in yourself. It's not stuff that you see other people doing. If the man is not true to his self, because to yourself, you're going to know your weaknesses, you're going to know your strengths. So having a woman shouldn't make you want to be like, oh, I'm a leader, I'm a leader, I'm a leader. It's just certain things you don't have to say, because y'all already are a certain way with each other, right? But when you have to keep forcing it, it's like it was installed in your head so hard that you have to keep saying it, because it was just installed in you to say, I'm masculine, I'm a man, I'm this, I have to lead, I have to do this. When in all reality, you really don't. You don't have to do that.
Okay. Does that also apply when you hear like a lot of women like, yo, I'm a boss chick, I'm a boss this and that. Is that similar? Like, is that something that was instilled in their head and they feel as though it's something that they have to say?
I wouldn't say the boss one. I'd probably say the one where like, I don't need a man to take care of me. I'd rather say that one because that one is like because everybody could be a boss. You know what I'm saying? If you have your own company, you've become a boss. If you have an LLC, you became a boss. So that's like an accomplishment for people that they just have to keep saying, and I'm happy for them. But um, that wouldn't equate to that.
But I mean, a man being a leader and a woman being a boss, it's not similar.
When a man's leading, you're kind of leading. When they saying that, they're like I said, they're going off of the internet when they said that they're a leader. I'm just gonna say it
But a
because
woman's not going off the internet. Like,
I've met
don't
women
I'm not trying to.
before the internet era came with the whole boss thing. So I don't know because I grew up around entrepreneurs in my life, so they didn't have to keep saying it. They just showed it. They just did it. But like I said, I don't know. I can't sit here and tell you it's one or the other. I mean, if that's how you take it, that's how you gonna take it. That's not how I take it.
No, I was just
Because I just
asking.
feel like when people say that they're a leader, like you're not just the leader of your home, you're a leader of the community. That's how I look at leaders. Like you're well respected in the neighborhood. You're well respected to a point where we don't have to keep telling you that you're a leader, or you don't have to keep saying that I'm a leader.
Okay. All right. All right. So is it problematic if a man cannot lead, right? Let's just speak on not the community, right? But starting first. Well, of course, before he can lead anything, he has to be able to lead himself, right? Um, and so let's get, men who are leading themselves, and now it's time, for him to lead um a family. Would it be problematic if a man is with a woman who is, let's just say, leads more with her masculine energy than her feminine? Would you see that as problematic in a relationship, or vice versa, where a man is not leading, with masculinity, he's leading with femininity? Would you see that as being problematic in a relationship?
Yeah. I think they're gonna bump heads if they're not on the same page. That's just what it is.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know.
Repeat the question one more time. No, because I want to make sure I understand what you're asking.
Yeah, I mean, just like, would it be if the roles were reversed, right? If the roles were reversed and a man was leading more so with, you know what I'm saying, feminine traits, and the woman was, you know what I'm saying, more in her masculine, would that dynamic, like, because it seems like it would be a shift, would that be problematic in a relationship? I believe I phrased it the same way. Let me bring Mr. Nobody in here. What's going on, Mr. Nobody? You on stage, man?
Oh, what's good, people? What's good?
Hey, how you doing?
Groovy.
Hola.
First of all, Lucky, don't talk to nobody like that.
Who, me?
Talking to Lucky.
What
Oh,
did I
I
say?
don't say, don't be getting angry with me. I just got on.
Before you got on, he had said something slick to Nobi, so I had to make sure he knew that wasn't
What did
him.
I say?
That was on.
She
So
said this
I
ain't your
think
show. She said don't talk to him like that.
I think I phrased it the same way. Who are you talking to?
It's like as per my last email.
Oh, right. That's exactly what that was. As per my last email. Yes.
So they done ganged up on you, Lucky?
You see it quickly.
Okay,
they
okay,
trying to, man.
okay,
They trying
okay.
to. They real quiet on this right here. Chocolate doing work.
Oh, okay then. Let me get my sounds right for they ass
But
then. Let me get my
I
stuff
think
right.
it does present a problem.
think it does present a problem if
Absolutely.
it's off.
I mean, if
Because
they
I
both
mean, if
agree,
she,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Nikita. Sorry.
you know, if she's leading with masculinity and he's all feminine, she's gonna get tired eventually because that, you know, that's not really the role she wants to be in.
But in the beginning, she's always led with that. So he never said anything before, or if he's leading with feminine energy, I mean, shouldn't that have been discussed?
Maybe she thought she could change.
Or maybe he
Don't mind.
overthought
Don't
it.
say that. Don't say that. That's the issue all in itself right there.
Mm-mm.
Some people think that though. They think they can change who somebody is.
What is the
They delusional.
or they think the person is going to change.
Who said they
Yeah.
delusional?
Like you haven't been a leader, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be put in position, and you're gonna become a leader. No,
It ain't gonna work either.
no.
Man,
Because you have to have you have to have a leader trait. You can't just all of a sudden begin to lead, because then how a leader has to be able to kind of figure out, if this goes wrong, what's the contingency plan? You
So
know,
you can't be trained to be a leader.
yes, you can, as you know, as you're growing up, if you have the right person teaching you.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And
But
if
I'm
you
just saying,
are,
like, you can't now be in this relationship. All of a sudden, you wasn't leading. Now, all of a sudden, you want to lead and step up. Um,
I got a question on that.
yeah.
If he wasn't a leader in a relationship
Why'd
and
you
he
choose?
decided he wants to be a leader, why did y'all get with him to start
I
off
know.
with?
I knew you was going to ask that. How did I know?
Because you know. Because it go back
Well,
to the
maybe she,
beginning.
yeah, maybe she. I mean, she probably knew how he was before, and like, who said it? It was
I think it
nobody.
was Nikita said it, and I think Memno S kind of
Yeah,
agreed.
maybe she thought that, you know what I mean, once they get into the relationship and have kids and do this, that he'll step up more in the leader role, and but at that point,
It's too late.
I mean, it's almost, yeah, almost too late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you
Just
find a
like
guy who had no leader qualities whatsoever. You marry him or move in with him and expect him to all of a sudden develop leadership qualities.
that's like somebody, you know, at a job they don't perform well. Somebody gives them a promotion and expect them to become better. You
Right.
Nah,
know, no,
ain't gonna
Nah,
happen.
that
not gonna
ain't gonna
happen.
happen. Nah, ain't
Nah.
gonna happen.
They the same person.
That
They
should
just
have
got
been
more
figured out.
responsibility.
But what if the woman's not? She's not really think of it as a leader because she feels like she is taking care of everything.
Again, a problem.
But
All that should be discussed from jump.
again a
Exactly.
problem. It's
Huh?
it's again a problem, but it's again the same thing that happens over and over a lot, because women, a lot of women were raised that they have to take care of things, especially, and we had this conversation before, you don't have a man in the house, so you learn to lead and take care of things, take care of your household, take care of your kids, regardless of the fact if you've raised men or women, but you learn to do these things. And you find a man, you could find a man that he just allows you to continue to do that.
So when you get
Not
into
saying it's
your
right or
adult
wrong,
stage,
but I'm just saying it happens.
yeah, because we didn't know. Like most of us grew up single parent household, so one of the parents was missing. But as you grow, you start developing your own way of doing things.
mm-hmm.
You hope.
So
You hope. Because not how do you know what a male leader is supposed to look like if you don't have one if you've never had one in your life?
no, you see it somewhere else though.
Where?
I didn't have it in mind. I saw it. I mean, like I said, with other adults, I started looking how people handle their marriages and how they handle their kids. I didn't go up and ask them. I just watched how they interact with these type of things.
But I will say this, not everyone has that. I remember specifically my ex-mother-in-law telling me my ex-husband never had, and I wish I would have known this before, he's never had a, what's the term the term she used, but he's never seen a marriage, it's the way she worded, but he's never seen a
functioning family, probably
A what?
a functioning
Functional
family.
family.
Yeah,
Yes, that could be a way to word it, but he's never
yeah.
seen a husband and wife that have been together, raised their children, and lived out longevity. He's seen everyone either get divorced, or one family member he has seen that they separated, divorced, lived in separate parts of the house, probably because it was cheaper or easier to continue to live. But that's what he saw. So he's never seen an actual functioning marriage with love, with leadership.
Who's doing that?
So,
But damn,
That's
you
not
know
me.
what not to do
That's
then.
not me.
It's not me.
who is that?
What's
That's
that?
not me.
I don't know
Who was
who that
doing
is.
that?
That's not me.
It's not me. So y'all
What
know
was it?
my somebody kept hitting that boing.
Oh, well, I don't have it, so I know it's not me.
But continue,
No,
continue, Nobi.
but he's never seen that. So that's not something I knew until way afterwards. But there are some people who just never seen a functioning marriage.
I mean, I was one. You remember I said earlier when we talked one time before, I said I'm on my second marriage because the first one, I didn't know what I was doing. I did it for all the wrong because I'd never seen it until when I got later on, I started paying more attention to how you need to move and do things. But most of us make a mistake on that first time around, but make it right on the second time around.
Or the
So-
third, or the fourth.
Or the third. I ain't going to four. I ain't doing the third shit.
I see how you backtrack that real fast.
Lucky, give me a shit.
Oh,
Nah, I can't do that again. Nah, chocolate god. That ain't going that far. Shit.
Hey, if he didn't see the positive in it, and all he saw was negative, he should know what not to do.
You're right.
Correct.
You're right.
Well, he played a video game, so he knew that.
But you know what? Memno S. With that being said, though, when some people only see the negative, that's all they know. So they don't even think that there is a positive. You
That is
understand what
true.
I'm saying?
That's
So
a good way to look at it.
they see what they see, and that's it. They get that as being a picture of just what it
should-
is. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen where people even argued it. You trying to tell them something else, but they only going by what they seen. So you can't really fault them for it. But you got to open your mind to what the other side on this thing is, And I don't think people, they like you say, they're comfortable being negative versus trying to figure it out and be positive on it.
Damn, that's crazy.
All right, so
It
check
is.
this out. I got this question. This question is for the ladies, right? Because I hear this a lot, and so I'm coming to y'all to get clarity. I hear a lot of times women say that it's a man's role to keep her in her femininity. Do y'all agree with that or disagree? I'm gonna start with you, Mims, just because you're right there.
They all right there.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. What about you, Nobi?
I don't know. Come back to me. Let me think about that for me.
You the comeback queen. Okay. What about you, Chucky?
Huh?
Nah.
No, did y'all hear that? Are y'all hearing those sounds, or is it just
Yeah, that's
somebody
Mim's
dog.
dog up there smoking
That's
cigarettes.
That's Mims' dog, man.
That's Mim's dog
okay.
smoking the menthols. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I was bugging out. Like, yo, hold up. I don't know where that's coming from. I can't.
He smoke a black amount.
Them menthols there. That shit caught right there. That's caught right there.
Oh, leave him alone.
Yeah,
That's
frog
what's
is
going on. Yeah, that shit. All right, that dog sitting up on there.
You want me to re-ask the question?
Yeah, because they lost me.
Oh.
I got you.
Oh.
Okay, so
all that.
my question is it a man's job or a masculine man's role to keep a woman in her feminine energy?
Oh, that's what you said.
Because
No,
and the reason I'm asking is just I hear a lot of women saying that. You know,
I hear it too, and I had to clarify it with the woman one time because I told her she wasn't in control of. When people, I feel like when people say that they're not in control of their own emotions, right?
That's a good way to look at it.
That's how I look at it, and me and her spent hours talking about that. But no, I don't agree with that because that's like saying you have to keep a man in his masculine energy.
Right. See, you just took my next question away because I was
Oh, I'm
going
sorry.
to.
Right.
Nah, but yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and that's where I was going to go with it. So, Lakita, you up?
I agree with Chocolate God. I mean, you're in control of yourself. It's
Okay.
nobody else's job to keep you the way that you are. Either you are or you're not.
Okay. All right, Mem No S, man. I just wanted to get the women out the way. What do you think, man? Do you feel like it's your job as a man to keep the woman that you're in a relationship with in her feminine energy?
Nah, she should want to be. She should want to keep herself in the energy. I don't think it's a guy's job to, keep her in her place or however you want to word it. Nah, I don't think so.
Right,
Yeah.
because that's her energy. She need to keep her own energy, right?
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
That's weird talk.
Okay. And what about you, Mr. Nobody?
Man, I don't believe that. Well, and it's simply like even like Chuck and Gardner one was saying, you got to be in charge of your own emotions. But for the fact that that's become a thing, trending, that a man has to do a certain thing for you to stay in your feminine energy is ridiculous.
It's
You should have come
insane.
into this thing being a woman, because that's basically what it's saying. And so you're not being a genuine woman coming up saying that you got part man. That's why I look at you coming in saying I'm part man. It's your job to keep me into this woman thing. I don't have time for all that shit. I'm having a hard enough time trying to keep my
Being a
damn
man.
self straight. Right.
Yeah.
So now I got to help keep you in line. Nah, come on. At least that part you should handle. Put on a dress, put on some shoes, and be nice.
What if she don't like wearing dresses?
I don't know, because I like women in dresses,
You said put on a dress, put on some shoes, and what?
like some
And
high
be
heel shoes,
nice.
and be nice. In
That's
other
Don't
words,
understand
in
and
other
be
I
words,
promise.
quiet.
I
dress,
think
So
I'm.
you
dress,
done
the,
offended
dress, the
everybody.
dress, dress the way you're supposed to dress. Be nice. That's what I'm saying. Look like a
Not like
woman.
he's saying be quiet.
No, I ain't say be quiet.
He didn't say that.
She
I
trying
got
to
you,
throw it
bro.
at
I
me. I'm
got you,
not
bro. Y'all
arguing
about to
today,
jump on the
Lakita.
dudes on here.
I'm not arguing with you today, Lakita. I said I ain't gonna argue with Lakita on that
Yo,
today.
yo,
I am not
yo,
arguing with Lakita. I'm gonna let Lucky have that. She called me
yo,
mean
Mr.
last
Nobody.
time. I said I'm gonna be
What
nice.
kind of dress? What kind of dress, Mr. Nobody?
Don't answer that. Don't answer. That's a trick question. Don't go for that.
What kind of
Because
dress?
I need to know why
Just
she
for
gotta
you,
have
ma'am.
on
Just for
some.
you, ma'am. You
Mm.
gonna wear a dress with back pockets. All right, that'll work for you.
Oh my God.
You're gonna wear a dress with back pockets. You're gonna have drawers to match. How about that? Don't ask me no more questions. I ain't even relaxed yet. I've been on the road. I just got off the road.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, that's
Seriously,
funny.
what if no, seriously, what if a woman doesn't like to wear dresses?
But there's other outfits you can wear, slacks or something like. I say that because I like to see women when their legs not
Ugh.
looking nice. I like to see women dressed nice and feminine. That's what I'm
You
saying.
beat
Not that you don't
myself.
have to all the time. But
You
still,
like what you like. Yeah.
right. I like women to look like women. When they going out, we going out and stuff. I like my woman to look like something. Now, I like women wearing heels. I don't like women wearing flats. That's me. I don't. I do not like
My
women in
ankles
flats.
hurt. My ankles hurt.
Well, I didn't. You was born with cankles. I can't do nothing about it. Don't fit in shoes. I'm sorry. I can't do nothing about that. But I'm just saying what Mr. Nobody like. I like mine with little ankles that fit in shoes. That's all I can say.
Yo, you
Lucky,
got me
what's
looking
going
at my
on, man? I
ankles.
just got on here. What's going on?
He got
Hey,
you looking
man,
down now.
hey, listen,
Yeah, my stomach hurting.
when I told them that you was running a little, you had some stuff that you had to take care of. Man, you should
Yeah.
have saw how upset they were, man. It was like, man, what we supposed to just get on this thing with you? I'm like, man,
Oh
like,
wow. That
yeah,
is so
man, they
messed up.
waiting for you, man. I felt some type of way, like,
I didn't say that.
I
you
didn't
didn't
say
say
that
it.
either.
It was
You
me.
didn't
I
say
don't
it.
care.
Oh,
But y'all ain't jump out and disagree either.
yeah, you made the point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just was like, yeah, I'm glad she said it because I ain't gonna be the
Well,
one to
I know
say
they
it.
wait. Give me to get on here and they can talk trash to me.
They probably all text Nobi like, thanks for saying it because I didn't want to say it. You know? Glad you said it. You know what I mean?
Well,
All right, so let me ask you this, y'all. Do you think that what are the things that a man can do that would be looked at as feminine, right? And the reason I'm asking this, and I don't know if it's do, yeah, I guess do. And the reason why I'm asking this, right, because there's a big thing with Dwayne Wade right now, right? He's carrying these quote unquote merces, you know.
the man bag.
He
Man,
paints his fingernails and things of that nature. Are y'all? Let me ask you this: are y'all okay with a man who paints his fingernails?
I'm sorry, I'm not.
No.
I was upset. I was upset that he called it a merce. I was very upset that he called it a merce.
Yeah, I saw that Boondock episode.
I
I didn't see it, but I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
I need
it
to
was
watch it.
hilarious. But
Hmm.
hey, man, what you mean? Who called a merce? To my Lucky?
Nah, that's what
no,
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne
He was
Wade.
like, "Yo, it's a
That's what he
merce."
called a merce.
he called
Yeah,
it a merce.
And the man purse, huh?
Yeah.
Well, a purse is a purse. I don't care what they put in front of it.
I agree. I don't even know what they call it. Person to person.
It's a
Not.
purse. It's a
I.
I
purse.
mean, because
I kind of think.
I do. I feel like a man should have a bag, yes, but not like that. It needs to be like a book bag or uh,
Right.
a,
What's
oversized
that thing they
wallet,
wear around
maybe,
what
they
about a
chest or
crossover?
body?
Yeah, like a
or
crossover.
a
Is that okay
crossover.
for a man,
Yeah,
or
but
is
it
that
don't
Yeah,
look
a
like a
crossover.
purse. So it look more
You know
like
what I'm
an
saying?
athletic bag or something.
What about the front
By the
ones?
fanny
Those
pack.
little. Yeah.
A
A
What
fanny
about
fanny
pack.
fanny
pack?
pack?
Hmm.
I'm
Mm-mm.
surprised people still wear
What
those.
about what about a fanny pack at a cookout?
Hmm.
I'm not a fan of fanny packs. Simply
That's
when
I
we
mean,
grew up, only
Put
certain
it in
people
your
wore fanny
wallet.
packs. No, certain people wore fanny packs when I grew up. Now my homeboy out of Florida, he still carry them. Him and his like there's a thing down there, I guess. But
Hmm.
when I grew up, only certain people carried fanny packs. They wore
Is,
fanny
yeah.
packs and
is that
and
the alphabet?
tight. What's the tights called? They had used to be spandex.
Leggings,
Spandex.
spandex.
Yeah, they'll have fanny packs and spandex on.
Man, you showing your age.
And so was they
Yeah,
also
yeah, I'm
skating?
old, man. I'm old, bro.
Was they
Yeah.
also was they also skating?
What's
What they
that,
what?
man?
Was they also skating? They had skates on or
No,
something?
no, no. They were just out and about at that time. And then they got to the gym. Then a lot of guys was wearing the long spandex with the fanny packs in the gym. The bodybuilder type dudes will be
Oh,
bodybuilders.
yeah, gym dudes.
You
Okay.
know.
See, because I'll give Fanny Pack a pass, but the Merce, yeah, he's bugging out.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
needs to be a book bag, a crossover, maybe a fanny pack if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, he's wilding with the
yeah. The
Merce
fanny
and the
pack's still
painted
out there in
nails.
some areas. Like I said, just some
Yeah.
areas, some dudes,
hmm
older dudes. But then you see some young dudes with them, but not the
hmm
man purse.
Well,
Nah.
I
But they
definitely
be all
would not deal with no man looking at his nails and his nails are the same color as my. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
nah. If you
Y'all know
go
y'all
That's
to
what
like
you
the
want
that.
to do, then that's what you want to do. But that's not for me.
yeah, if you go to the
What
nail
if he got
salon and
money?
you go to get
I
a
don't
manicure.
care.
Yeah, if you
What
go
if he
get a
got money? Like
manicure,
that
I
real
don't.
money?
one at a
I don't
time,
nah,
one
you're
at
care.
not
a
painting your
time.
nails.
Come on, Mims. Let Mims finish. Mims got the floor. Go ahead, Mims.
She was upset. I don't care what kind of money you got. Nah, if you go to the nail salon, you get you a manicure, pedicure, whatever. You do clear finish. There's no colors you putting on. There's nothing you're doing. No, there's no
Clear
reason
nail
for you to
polish.
put.
So it's
So
Yeah,
the
okay for
man,
them
so
to
the man
shine.
has some nice, clear, shiny nail polish on his
I could
hands.
do it. I could do it because you went to go get a manicure. Now you're not going to freshen it up every few days. You're not doing that. You go to the place get a manicure and they put a clear thing on there because you just got it freshly done. I could see that. But every day after that, if you notice that it chipped and you freshening it up, yeah, you out.
Tips.
You're not getting no
She
colors.
said you
You're not
wildin'.
getting no colors. Yeah, you out.
I
You're
think
not
you
getting no
out just
colors.
going to do all that.
I don't even know about the clear.
Exactly.
That clear. I don't.
I don't know if I can sit there and just watch a dude with this nice, polished, clear fingernails and not think something You know, you want to say something, but you don't like. I don't even feel like arguing with this dude, but this Negro got pretty
Hey, look,
nails.
Pat,
You know what I'm saying?
What you
This
gonna
nigga,
tell him, Mister
this
Mister
Negro got
Nobody? You
pretty
got some
nails.
nice nails.
Yeah, he
But
got
you
some
got
pretty
some men that
nails.
are like that. Isn't it a term for
Right.
a man when they go, they take
Yeah.
care of themselves? They
Yeah, they keep themselves up, get their cuticles
what's it called?
clipped
It's
and
a
all that
term,
stuff.
but it's a
There
term because they go get their hair cut. They, they make sure they keep themselves up, and there's a term for that.
metrosexuals.
Yeah, Metro.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
metrosexuals. So they about it. They try to be fashionable and all this other stuff, but then they want to be cute, and a man shouldn't want to be cute. You know what I mean?
Chocolate, what you think about a man with nail polish?
I have goth friends, so they have their fingernails painted.
Goth. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Do you think
let's just speak. If somebody was trying to holler at you, not the God, because that's more like I ain't say it's cultural, but no, that's a thing.
It is a
That's
thing.
the
So that's
yeah.
why I don't look at it when men have their, because I know men that have had their fingernails painted that weren't goth, but I never really double looked at it.
Were you attracted to it?
I would not be attracted to nails. It's gonna take way more nails.
Why y'all get nails done if y'all don't want us to be attracted to them? Then
No, I get my nails done because I like the way they look on my hands.
Yeah, I'm not doing. I barely get my.
nah, I ain't never looked at a woman and said like, I just want to get with her because her nails.
Because her nail. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds
I
weird.
would hope not.
Yeah, because I ain't never get my nails done. I said, "Ooh, the dude's gonna love these." No, I get them done because I be like, "Yo, I feel like I want me some purple on
Yeah,
my
I don't think you
nails."
should have a dude that ever say I love your nails like that because he probably wants some too. He probably want to go get them done. You know, like you try them dudes them
No, but
polished
he can
nails.
admire your hands. You have your nails done. Your fingers look pretty. He wants to get kiss your hand. Mwah.
All right, say that again.
You got dudes that
Say
like
that
feet.
again, Obi. I
You
want to make
got
sure I
dudes that
got
like
you right.
Oh,
feet.
I was just thinking that. You took it out my head.
Right. You got dudes that like feet. You know what I'm saying? Feet got to
Got
be
to
nicely done, and they want to lick on them and stuff.
suckable
Mhm.
toe.
They ain't getting themselves done like that.
Well, I mean, I
Well,
guess they do have foot fetish. I
They
mean,
they
do.
do.
You get
but then
paid.
you
They
got a
got. They got. They got.
then y'all got a weirdo, right? Then y'all gonna be
Some
talking
are.
about him. Soon as he stopped wanting to caress your feet, you gonna go talk shit about him online. Oh, weird ass dude sucking on my toes and shit.
Yeah.
Nah, I
Right.
don't like. I don't
All
like
right,
no dude
yeah,
touching my feet, man. Because you know
all
why? Because I don't want nobody to ask me to do none of their feet. Because I don't like feet. Keep your feet in your socks. Don't ask me to touch
Look
your
at
feet.
Lucky. Look at
right.
Lucky's face.
All right, listen. I'm gonna stop that right there.
Hey, we talking
So,
about.
ladies, question, right? If the man is expected to take the lead in a relationship, and for whatever reason he's no longer leading, do you feel the need to now lead, or do you still kind of sit back and let this man know, hey, listen, you're falling short, or you're not, you fumble in the bag, or whatever it is, so that he can step up and take the lead, or do you just do it yourself?
He trying to
I'm
give
a
him a chance.
yeah. I'm a first. Yeah, let him know.
You'll let him know that he's
Yeah,
falling
give him a
short.
chance. Just like Novi said, give him a chance.
Okay. What about you, Chocolate?
Out of there.
You out of there as soon as
Gotta
he
go.
falls short. What about you, Mims? Do you even let a man lead, Mims?
Wow. You gonna do that to her?
No, see, y'all messed it up because y'all started laughing. I didn't mean it like that. Y'all trying to make it into something
But
that I'm
look at
really not.
the wording that you use.
Yeah, do
It
you
was just a
even?
question. Because I mean, she always,
That was a stab.
nah, no, it wasn't. Stop telling her that it was a stab, because now y'all gonna make it a stab. It was
I
not a
think she's
stab.
okay with it. I think she's okay with it.
Yeah, she in her mind, she probably like, I don't let
I
no
don't
man
know because I've heard
lead.
her several times talking about how she'll bust somebody upside the head
Exactly.
and be bowing up like a little bulldog. She's like,
Go ahead, Miss.
yo. She be hitting that New York, hey, yo. I'm busting upside the head, yo. And her head be bouncing when she talking. That's when they serious. Look at her. Go ahead and
She
hit it one time.
questioned it.
Go ahead and hit it. See, y'all don't hear it when she be talking just me and Lucky. She be all on it.
So
Yo.
I don't mind for a man to lead, but I've noticed that my personality is a little strong, and I tend to push him along a little bit because never mind. I just noticed I don't mind letting a man lead, but I noticed they don't be moving fast enough.
See, so the way
Mm.
that you
Oh,
saying
damn.
it, right? The way that you
Oh, that's
saying it,
another whole conversation, Lucky.
look,
They don't
look,
be
the way
moving
that you
fast
saying
enough.
you don't mind the man leading or you'll let him lead is as if you just run the situation and then you're like, okay, yeah, I'll just kind of let you, you know what I'm saying? I'll throw you a bone every now and then and let you make a decision or something like that, right? Do
Make
you
you
I
feel
don't
like
know
you're
what
doing
she
something you
means
don't.
by that. She doesn't mean like mind taking a back seat and allowing him to lead. But if he can't lead, then she gonna run him on out the way.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
messed
you
up.
know why? Right. So yeah, she got it
But then you say he's not moving
because
fast enough.
this is
So,
what I do. I will let you go ahead and do what you gotta do, but I know I could do it myself. But I know that a man needs to feel like he's doing something. So I do not mind letting a man lead. But if you do not, and now the relationship is like making me uncomfortable, I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and do this. And then eventually, just like Chocolate God, I'm out of there.
Damn, that's messed up.
so let me ask you this based on your personality, do you think the type of men that you attract are non-leading type of men? Like,
AKA weak.
yeah, do you think that because you're this, you know what I'm saying, this type that you tend to attract men who are not, you know what I'm saying, are not leaders? Because so as a man, you know, I can feed off of like, you know, someone's energy. And so if your energy is, you know, just like rah 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 like that, I'm gonna stay away from you. You know, maybe some men like the fact that, oh, okay, she's gonna take the lead. I can just sit back and just, I don't know, play
On my
video
stuff.
games or whatever and stuff like that. And she's gonna do everything. And so maybe you tend to attract those type of guys because you, you know, your persona or your personality is that you're gonna take the lead. You think
Before
that?
she answered that, as a man, you didn't even want to feel like that, though. But go ahead.
Right. I agree. But yeah, answer that, Mims. Please. Pretty please. You get ready to
So
attack me. That's why I said pretty please. I'll be nice.
wait. I'm actually gonna pull a Nobi. I need you to rephrase that.
For
Damn.
me?
Do you think that your strong personality tends to attract men with a not so strong personality?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, I because yeah, I mean, because I guess that's why I'm single now. That's why I've been single for a while because I don't know. But I allow men to just do what they feel like. But then after a while, I'm like, yeah, this is not me. Like you have to either get on my level or above.
Mm.
If you come down
Mm.
here and you acting like this here, then I gotta go over here somewhere.
Okay,
You know what
So
I'm
he has
saying?
to get on your level, on your program, basically. He has to get on your program.
Well, not my program, but like if your sense of your sense of emergency or your sense of emotion or your sense of strength is not on the same level as mine and you're below all of that, then it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for either one of us. Cause then
okay,
I'm gonna feel like I'm being your mother, and then you're gonna feel the same. Like it's not gonna be. I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, I do understand there is a man's role, a masculine role in a relationship, and I do allow a man to be masculine in a role with me. But if you can't even be as masculine as me, and I'm not that masculine, Lucky,
She knew she said it before she said it.
word, and I'm not that masculine. Now, I when I'm talking to y'all, you know what I'm
Shit.
saying.
You said you're not that masculine now.
Right.
When I'm
What you
with
said you just
somebody that I'm trying to get with, I'm not gonna be like, yo, 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 what's up with you? Pull your pants down. I'm not gonna
Oh, my
do
goodness.
that.
Violation.
I might roll up on you, especially if you're fine. I might roll up on you and be like, yo, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? Do you got a girlfriend? I might do that.
You're going deep on this situation.
Yeah.
But
okay.
that's just me. And
So let me
So
ask
how
you.
because
did that work?
I'm a lady, damn it.
Let me ask you this: do you typically come across men who are more masculine than you?
No.
Do you think your masculinity would kind of push masculine men away because they don't want? I hear women saying stuff like, "Oh, these men out here, they can't handle me." Or you ever feel like that? Men
No.
can't.
No,
Certain men can't handle
I
you.
feel like most of the men I'm gonna say at least 75% of the men that I've been with, they like my freaking attitude. They like my personality. They like this. They like all of this. You know what I'm saying? And just to tell you, I was the one that told them to keep stepping, and they was trying to get back with me. So who you talking
Okay. All right. I got. And listen, I was just asking. I'm just. I'm
Back
just.
down, let you stand up for it.
I'm just
to?
asking.
He's like, they gotta talk to you like that. What you doing?
All right.
This
So
your show.
I
I
want no
want her to
trouble.
try to handle you.
I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble.
What about the rest? What about the other ladies? That how y'all feel about all that? Like he said, that rah stuff.
I'm not rah rah, Mr. Nobody.
You were just rah for the whole 5 minutes.
I wasn't though.
Your tone even different right now. I'm sorry.
Right. Like you can't go there and come back here with that soft talk.
You
I'm
can't. That's
sorry.
so.
So
You
to the
probably
other
sitting up there
ladies,
with flats on right now.
to the other ladies, do you think
No, I ain't got
do
no shoes
you
on.
think that masculine women tend to attract more feminine men?
I'm not sure. I don't really know anything about being a masculine woman. I, I don't know.
Okay.
You ain't got
Okay.
no masculine in you, Lakita?
No.
Hey, the dog getting it in.
You ain't lying.
Sound like
It's like I need a
I'm
Sprite.
gonna get stuffed in the back of a car. Something going on.
Getting kidnapped.
Something.
He's fighting
I,
for his life.
I hear the muffles.
All right. So with relationships nowadays, um, with I don't want to say masculinity being under attack. I'm not gonna say that. Um,
It is though.
but
Yeah, for the last 5 years, it have been under attack.
yeah, but I'm just not gonna say it.
I'm gonna do it. It's been under attack.
Do you think, ladies, do y'all think or feel that if masculinity is taught or a learned behavior and there are not enough men teaching, the boys to be masculine, that most men now are are more more feminine?
He said, "Pay attention to me,
You
damn
gotta
it."
mute that shit, man. You gotta mute that shit. I'm sorry. That little joker got too much going on. Why is it so deep for to be a little teeny dog like that?
Is that a boy dog? It's a
That
girl.
girl, that dog gonna sound like Barry White. That little ass dog sound like a
What you trying to say? The dog is masculine?
right. That's a girl. That dog sound like a dude.
Yeah.
Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Oh man,
Oh my
see,
goodness.
y'all done messed up. Y'all messed up my question.
Yeah, get back to what because
Do-
I
do
would say
y'all-
I had something on my mind what Lucky had said. Now y'all done threw me off, man.
yeah, ladies, do you think that again, masculinity, or how to be a masculine man is taught to younger boys by masculine men, with not as many men being in the lives of their sons? Do you think that that creates just more less masculine men in today's society?
But see, remember I told you. Did you want me to answer? You didn't want me to answer, did you?
I got answer.
Oh, remember, remember
That's
I
what
told you
I'm
before.
saying.
I feel like it can't be taught.
Masculinity?
You don't
I
think
don't
you
think
taught?
so.
Yeah,
No,
it has to be
because
taught.
remember I said that you could try to bring this man or little man up to be a masculine man, and he would still be a part of the alphabet. Remember I said that you could teach it all day long, and they
No, no,
still
no, no. You got to teach him. You have to show him. Now he just don't want to learn. He don't want it. He's resisting it. But just like you have a kid, you got to teach your sons how the masculinity way works and how you have to
right.
do this. Yeah.
So
So
you
you got
teach
to be
them. So do
taught. You're
you?
not.
So you don't believe that being a part of the alphabet, you're born like that?
That ain't the same thing.
It's not the same.
This ain't talking
So
about
it's
doing things they do.
so yeah. So if they're born to have that in them, and then the father, who is a masculine man, brings this boy up to be a masculine man. He does everything he's supposed to do. I'm talking about everything to the T. But then once he becomes 21, he realizes that all of that his father, his masculine father, taught him was cool and everything, but he's still like Lucky.
Well, he
Yo,
switched. That don't mean he
no,
didn't
no. You need to
know.
switch that up, man. What you mean?
I'm
He
just
switched.
saying he's still
He
like
grew up. He grew up knowing the way. And then this is another thing. And it's gonna seem weird, but I've seen guys that still carry themselves in a masculine way that end up still dating their own. Now, when they come
so.
down to them doing whatever in that bedroom or whatever, that's when it goes
Mhm.
out the window. But I've seen dudes you would never even know unless they told you.
Yeah.
But once they tell you, you're like, oh, okay.
So would you consider that a masculine man?
No, not once I find out. No, because masculine men don't do that. They don't do that.
I see chocolate God.
You
I see.
can't sit
Look at
there
what
and
you.
say you can't sit there and say I'm a masculine man. Then you go lay down with another man talking about I love you. No,
But
Yeah.
he carries himself as a masculine man all day long, all night.
Well, that's pretending.
until
That's not actually being masculine.
no.
So, like I
Okay,
said,
so
so that man was brought up to be a masculine man because he knows how to do it. He was brought up to, he learned how to do it.
Prime example. Prime example.
But
Down
he's
low
not
man.
one.
But
But then he's
listen,
not
down
one.
low
Oh, go
man.
ahead.
Down
Down
low
low.
man. Look how they trick. Look how they trick women. They live that
Hmm.
same life like a masculine man. They married. They do all the same thing. They work. They do all this stuff, and then you find out he's doing that. They
okay,
know the difference. They choose not to be at a certain point.
all right, check this out. Check this out. I'm gonna ask this: masculinity versus sexual preference. Okay,
Mm.
can't is there a difference between the two? Can a man be masculine, however, his sexual preference be something
That's why I say
different?
the download dudes.
Is yeah, see,
Right.
see,
Right. He go
They
to the gym. He go to work. He work as a mechanic. He's like he's the most. He does everything masculine throughout his life. He go to bars. He chilling. You know what I'm saying? But then he go home to his boyfriend.
That's very masculine. I'm just gonna say that.
Going home to his boyfriend is masculine.
Yeah, that's a man. So isn't if a man is messing with a man that's masculine? I mean, I see it like that because those are two masculine men.
All I know is two dudes make do, and that's it.
Amen.
That's it. Two dudes make do. Remember that. All right. And that is not masculine. And that is not masculine.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just being honest.
Oh my
Okay, hold on, chocolate. I'm gonna put you front stage right now. I need you to
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
I need you
Uh-oh.
to explain that. How I need you to explain that.
Yeah, I don't see that as being masculine going home.
So, okay, first let me
No,
ask
that
this.
ain't gonna never win.
Would you say that
Mm-mm.
masculinity is separate from sexual preference? Can the two be separate? Can a man like can't do this? I'm sorry.
I don't even know why you brought that question in there, man. So, because all the things gonna go to these download dudes, man.
No. It's I'm interested to I'm kind of interested to hear because it might explain a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, unless somebody else agree, a chocolate guard gotta explain that to me because I don't know about that one.
yeah, I don't agree.
I believe that if a masculine man is screwing another masculine man, he's
Ooh,
masculine.
Yeah,
that is
how?
totally wrong.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
No,
Neither one of them
no,
are masculine.
no.
If they
So I think
Mm-mm.
basically what she's saying is there's a difference between the two. There's a difference between between masculinity, or there's a line, between masculinity versus sexual preference. Let me ask this, right? Is that kind of accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask this to the guys. For two women that like to do what they do, are those women no longer feminine?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
Nah, I
think it
mean,
really
But you know what
depends.
though? But you know
If
what?
they
No, go ahead, Lakeita. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I said I think it really depends because sometimes when people choose to be with the opposite sex, they want to, one may take on a role and try to be, a man when they're a woman, or vice versa. When it's two men, one of the men might try to be a woman. So, mm,
It's only
mm.
one way for a man
I agree with
to
that.
have, It's only one way that they have, You know that, right?
I don't even feel good right
We the only one with the holes. Okay.
So yeah, you explain it. Y'all one with the hose. So what the hell is this?
So
now.
what
Right. This bumping and shit. What the hell?
so for a
That's like,
man, you know,
and that's why it's a difference.
Okay, so okay then. If that man is playing a role of a woman, how is he masculine?
I don't
How
think
could
he's
that
playing the
possibly?
He's
role of
not.
a woman. He's
One of them
playing the
has to be.
role of a man. They're just attracted to men and your long backs and your booties.
Mm-mm.
And that's not right.
Shut this thing down, right?
That's not right.
he said,
That's
and
not right.
that's
You
not
gotta
Oh,
right.
change this subject, Lucky. We gotta change this damn
this is
subject.
all Mem's fault.
We gotta change this.
This is all your fault, man.
No, it's not because it all maps into that. Because you asked if
Stop it.
we was talking about what we was
Stop
talking
it.
about teaching a man to be masculine or teaching a boy to be masculine. That's what we was
Right. We
talking
ain't talking
about.
about no man on
But
man
the
act.
whole thing it ends up doing that sometimes.
No man is up here teaching his son how to go be with another man and talking about
No,
his
the man
masculine.
is teaching him to be masculine. But then he goes out and feels like, dang, I like that other masculine man over there. He look kind of good.
And his dad
Okay.
gonna slap the doggone what out of him as soon as
All
he
right.
But he
tell him that.
can't change him. But he can't
Okay.
change.
No,
Okay.
no,
So,
no. But at that point, his dad ain't gonna look at him the same. Like this ain't what I taught you. You ever hear that? Like this is not how I brought you up.
This is
Unless
not
his
how I brought
dad
you
was
up.
also that, but he hiding it.
so
What
let
if
me.
he what if he just didn't bring him up like that?
So
And he
okay, hold
switched
on.
over when he got older. But
Let me
no,
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Is that being a part of, you know, that community, is it deeper than just choosing to be a part of that? Is that maybe um from birth? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
maybe
I
some
think it's from birth. I
childhood
don't feel
from
like
birth.
anybody choose that because why would you choose to be abused like that? Because you don't. I don't. I would never choose that life because of the way they get treated. You know what I mean? You have to be. I feel like you have to have something in you at birth or during your adolescent time, stage of growing your brain that tells you I don't like boys because and when I'm a girl, but I like this girl. This girl makes me feel some kind of way inside.
Okay,
You know what I'm
so
saying? To not
so
be attracted, it's something in you to not be attracted to the opposite sex.
I
I
okay.
didn't
agree.
touch the subject.
You who agree? Who disagree?
I know.
No, I
I
said
disagree. I don't think you're born like that. I don't think you're born.
You don't think you're
I don't.
born?
I don't either. And when it come down to it, I don't think you were born that way.
I don't either.
That's just my
I
opinion.
think
That's
it's
just
what
my
you're
opinion.
exposed to.
Exactly, Lakeith. I think I've the ones that I grew up around, I saw why they end up being the way they were
Why?
because their mothers act like they wanted girls, and they kept them around girls. They did things like girls, and never let them be around boys. Just like I tell young women with kids, do not let your boys see you put makeup on, getting dressed, combing your hair, doing all that stuff y'all do before y'all get ready to go out. Your boys need to be in another room
Well,
because
trying to
they don't
clean
know
your
any better.
shoes.
They don't know any better. They just seeing you being pretty, and the next thing you know, the mom, I
What
want to be
about the
pretty
ones?
too.
What about the ones that grow up in a two parent household in the church?
The
They go
same
to
thing.
church. They talk
Yeah,
about
the same
this.
thing.
How?
Why would you want your son sitting there while your wife sitting there putting makeup on? He's sitting there watching her each and
You
every
think
time
he's
when she
put?
put
He
makeup on. And the next thing you know, you're gonna walk in that room, and guess what he's gonna have in his hand? Her makeup. Just like they see little boys seeing this mom put on nice shoes. She got her heels on, all this other stuff. You walk in a room one day, he walking out with her heels on.
That's
They
like
what they're exposed to. Kids are kids. They don't know until you put it in front of them. That's why
Fact.
you have to watch what you're
nah.
doing with kids because some kids like being around their moms a lot more than their dads.
Yeah,
And
my
but the woman
pops,
got to be careful what
pops
she's
never let
doing
me,
when he's in his presence. When in his presence, I mean her
yeah,
presence.
pops never let me be around my mom's, like my mom's and her friends and you know whatever
Right.
stuff like that. It was always like, boy, what you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
I had
So,
to
you
tell
know,
this
I don't
girl.
know. I'm not saying, you know, I'm just saying I know, you know, my experience coming up. He always, you know, made sure I was with, you know what I'm saying, him and, you know, his friends, you know, just doing whatever from an early age, you know.
This is a prime example. This girl, she was one of my soldiers. She had a young son, and we was talking because I told her she always asked me about meeting guys and stuff, and I told her stop dating your son. And she said, "What you mean?" I said, "Every time I turn around, you posting what you're gonna do next week with your son. Your son is like 6, but you already spending posting that you're gonna spend all this time with your son on the weekend. We go to the movies, we doing this. You ain't never put no time in there for you and yourself, but you dating your son. You done replace whoever you're gonna date with your son." And she was like, and I said, "That's why you're not getting no action because nobody wants to come up in between that."
Yo, he's 6 though. I mean,
Yeah, he's 6. So you don't have to plan a week in advance because you're posting it.
but what if she?
We
What if she
already
doesn't
planned.
have
That's what you
anybody
call it. We
else to
plan
take
a
him?
date. We plan a date night. We plan a this. We plan this. That's what I'm saying. Now, the little boy, like I said, he's 5 or 6 years old. When he goes to the bathroom, I said, when he goes to the bathroom, does he pull his pants all the way down or you show him how to pee through, a certain way? She said, no, don't y'all pull y'all pants all the way to the ground? And I said, no. I said, you literally think we stand in the bathroom with our pants pulled down to our feet? But a
Uh,
lot of y'all women don't know that we don't pee like that. And so I had to explain to her, I said, no, that's not the right way. I said, that's why they have a pee hole in his pants and his underwear. So you can pull it out. And she didn't ever put it together. So she was having him going into even a public bathroom, pull his pants all the way down to the floor and stand there and pee.
all right, we're gonna cut that right there. We're gonna leave that where it's at.
I'm just being, hey
If
man.
anybody want to have a live stream where y'all talk about that, hey, y'all can do
You wouldn't let it go. I told you let it go. See,
you know what I
you
mean?
stayed in there, but hey, that's
Yeah.
the difference, though. That's the difference when a man telling them and a woman telling them.
All right, so we good on that. So
What did I miss?
back to
Damn,
back,
it's not.
He don't have kids, so he don't get it. But you go ahead and have your son. That you'll see.
back to relationships. So when a man is okay, I think I'm going to chocolate guard. I'm coming to you
Uh-oh.
chocolate guard on this one right here.
My face.
And, okay, when a man becomes when a man becomes weak in the relationship and he's no longer, that leader that a woman might need or require, desire, is that all on him as a man, or could it be a result of what he might be going through in a relationship?
Good question. Good question, Lucky.
I'm not a man, so I'm
Mhm.
not sure how I would answer this.
What? What?
Oh my
um,
goodness.
uh,
Okay.
uh, um, mm, okay. So I don't know.
Okay.
I think, okay. I feel like there are times in relationships with males that either they're overcompensating or they're undercompensating, and they come to a realization, and now they're at the point where they don't know what to do. I'm sure you guys all have been there. And that's where those, because I feel like sometimes you're not always strong. You don't, like, it's going to be times when you're weak, but it's just what to do in that moment. It's up to the man what he decides to do in that moment. Some of them will just cut themselves off to everything, including the relationship. And then now, when you're asking him what's wrong, he's not telling you. And now we got to go through this whole dance and giving it, just, I don't know. I think at that point you need therapy.
All right.
Because if I
So
can't help you, go get some therapy.
have any of you ladies ever felt in a relationship that, you know what, I need some time, I need some space, I need, I gotta find myself, I gotta,
Take a break.
take a break.
Y'all kind of brought all that stuff to a head.
But so you can't say y'all. You can't categorize every woman because I've never done that.
But
No, but have you ever
that's exactly
felt
I can categorize it because that don't mean it's everybody.
I
So
mean,
certain women, yeah, and I ain't say everybody. I never said
oh,
every woman.
you said
I
y'all
never
women.
speak when I speak. I never speak every anything.
Okay,
I
okay.
speak in general. Yeah, I speak in general. I never, because there's never you. We're not speaking about you guys. So, but y'all, yeah.
I didn't take a break. I mean, if I'm angry, upset, I just need let me just go sit down and calm down for a little bit. I don't believe in um leaving or walking away or sleeping on the couch. I don't believe in that. Um, I just need some time to myself. Maybe it's 20 minutes, go sit in a room and calm down and count whatever it is, just to kind of think through what I'm going to say. Cause I'm also a type of person. I don't like to just speak, having an argument and then just going into like saying anything, because I realize when you say something, you can't take back what you said. Cause if you're saying it in the heart of an argument, you most likely mean that.
okay.
So taking a break, no. Taking
So you
a
never
little bit of time to yourself, yes. Whether it's go out, go get your hair done, and come back, and just leave a breather. Yes.
but never just like overall from the relationship itself, like, I've been going long and strong for 4 years, I just need,
A break. I just need a
break.
break.
No.
No, okay,
Even like when I was in my marriage, I didn't feel that way.
okay.
No.
So y'all
Okay.
never heard women say that? Come on, tell the truth.
Off the top of my head, no, because I guess the women, my friends, my close friends that I'm with, no one has been married. I was the only one out of my group of friends that's gotten
No,
married.
I mean just in relationship. Just in
Um,
relationship.
Yeah.
no,
Right.
no.
Women always say they need a break.
Yeah.
I don't
The
think they
men
say
don't
it
never say.
long
Men
enough.
don't ever say. Like she said, even like Chuck, they'll probably get quiet, but the
They'll get
men never say
quiet.
it because they know it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
The
And it's a
men
problem.
say
They
it's
don't. They
not
don't feel
you,
like
it's
arguing
me.
with it. They don't feel like being bothered with it. They don't want to argue with you about it. You need a break. You need a break. What kind of? We don't go off all of that.
Mhm.
Some actually do.
Yeah, the
They
ones that like to argue.
so yeah,
The ones that like to argue. The sassy brothers. Yeah, they'll argue with you all night long. But that's what y'all like, though. That's what I'm saying. Y'all like them sassy brothers. Y'all
you
do.
know, y'all like anything. You got to realize the relationship is already done at that point for both of them.
Yeah, but it was chosen before all that. You chose that sassy brother before y'all got. That's why it didn't work out. Did y'all
Well,
ever think about that? He's too
what
much
about in
like
the
They
you.
beginning?
He was too much like you.
They show a different side of them. They always say. I always remember a
Of
comedian
course
saying,
they will. They
"You meet their
charming you. They
representative."
trying to get it.
So now, then you see the sassiness a year later.
Yeah, because he's trying to get it. It's always been there, but y'all don't see it when he's
it's
sitting there
always
holding his hand different, or he
yeah.
walking a little different. Y'all don't pay that no attention.
Not
When he
Probably
even
not.
talking, he just sitting around a whole bunch of women all the time. See, y'all don't look at all that stuff. We look at that stuff. I look at a man walk out the room holding his hand funny. I was like, something ain't right about that dude. Because
and
dudes don't walk out holding their hands like this or just something. They don't, we don't do certain things. That's why we can see it. But y'all don't see it. And so y'all let it pass by. Then next thing you know, he's saying the same thing. He like this, that he like that you like. Oh, we got so much in common. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, we so this and that. We so in touch. And now that dude running around arguing with you like you arguing with one of your sisters. Breaking shit, throwing stuff, throwing tantrums.
kicking you out
Come
the
on.
car.
Do what to a car?
Kicking you out the car.
Yeah, you do that too. Because no real brother ain't throw his woman out the car.
Well, he may get in trouble too, because
That's why he ain't gonna throw out the car. Because he know a cop show up and you say, what happened? It don't
I'm
matter
not
if she
talking
hit
about
him
from the car.
150 times. Yeah, if he,
I'm not talking about from the car.
I'm just saying, if we throw her out the car, she ain't gonna jump up and come beat me up. I just tossed her ass out the car and took off.
Oh man, they mean
How
literally
fast this
throw
moves.
out the
Right.
car, like
Unless
maybe
she's running
down.
behind the car, she running like,
Whoever kicked Mims out the car got a problem.
man,
Whoever kicked Mims
Kim, hey,
got a
Mim
problem.
legs this tall. She ain't catching nobody. She got number knees.
I
So
think if
I'm
females have a problem
I'm
with
a catch
guys,
you.
they should ask other guys. That's what I think. It's like if you have a problem with a female, you wouldn't ask a guy. He not gonna know because he ain't a guy. He should ask a female. So if a female having a problem with a dude, she should ask another dude. Like, yo, my dude's doing blah blah blah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Then another guy tell you, oh, he doing that because of this. But the problem is females don't want to listen. Oh, nah, he ain't that type of guy. He a guy, ain't he?
There it is.
But
Simple.
you know
That's
what?
simple.
When the women are young, they don't listen. But you also go to your friends. So you go to your friends, and that's who's telling you. And then they
Male
really
or
don't know.
female.
Right.
Mm-mm-mm.
Female friends. And then they don't know either. But I think as you get older, you start to realize, I know myself, I'll call one of my friends, male, and ask them certain questions, and they put me onto game, or they just tell me, certain things. And now I believe, I understand and I listen. But when I was younger, you call your homegirl and your homegirl, leave him alone, F him, he don't mean, you could do better or whatever have you. Nowadays,
Think of herself.
Right. That's just like what M. Noah said. You talk to a man. I used to tell my sister that. Stop. If you want to know something about a man, ask a man who got his stuff together. And he will tell you. I used to tell my sister all the time, stop getting dudes that need to be fixed. That was my thing. Stop getting dudes that need to be fixed.
mm-hmm.
And that means if he ain't got a car, a job, or a place to stay, you don't need to say hi to this dude. You need to keep it moving. But what y'all do? Oh, he sold this. He's so nice. He sold this. And next thing you know, 6 months later, now you're talking trash about this bomb. It was a bomb coming in.
Yeah.
But a grown man ain't got a place to stay, no job or a car. I don't know why you women still deal with him. You know you're gonna have to take care of him.
You're right.
Every piece of him. He can't do nothing.
You are correct, Mr. Nobody.
I
If he
know.
got that far in life, jeez.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He did shoot. Man, I see dudes like that living at least a good year or so with a woman before she realized he ain't nothing.
No, she realized it before. She's just her mama's daughter.
And they
What's that again? She her mama daughter.
She's her mama's daughter.
Okay.
She seen what her mom did, and now she's just repeating
Doing
the
the
same.
same. Yeah. Repeating the cycle.
I will agree with that. Remember, I said a while back I had family members, 3 generations of that type of situation. 3 generational women, single parents.
It's a curse.
Yep. No man in sight.
So do you think that that's what most of us do? We kind of move off of
Motion.
what we
What
what's
we
the emotion?
Taught. Yeah.
I I could say so I didn't 100% grow up with my mom, but my sister did, my older sister did. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You just
How
following suit.
yeah, little things are different, but because of course everybody has their own journey to figure out life. But stability is the same way, you know, it's just the same exact way. And it's so sad, but unless you stand up when you get in your late 20s and your 30s and realize like, hey, that's not the life I want to live, and make a decision and make a choice to unlearn those things that you were taught in your childhood, you would just it would just keep going.
Repeating. Yep.
It would just keep going.
It's just like a while back, like this little thing that started a couple years ago when everybody started saying generational curse. Mostly women say it. It's the generational curse. We're gonna beat this generational curse, and it's all about finance to them. And then I said, well, your generational curse is not your finances, it's your family background.
Dynamic. It's your dynamics.
Right. Your family, like you say, I guess that's a good word, dynamics. Your family dynamics is what's holding you back. It's not the finances. You guys keep repeating the same thing each generation, living in the same house, same area, same type of, low income or whatever it is. Nobody's trying to do anything different, but y'all talking about we getting this money. Nothing ain't changed. You still living in, you can't tell me you getting this money living in a low income area in the same houses that your mom grew up in.
You actually should be a millionaire. I'm just gonna be real. When you live in them type of places, you need to be a millionaire. You need
You
to have
could be,
else.
you could be, but we don't see it.
Mm-mm.
Like you need to have money because you're not paying anything. You need to have money.
Right.
Well,
Like
I know
usually they have a
nurses.
man living with them.
I know
they're not
nurses
supposed
that
to have
still
men.
live in the. I know nurses that still living in these bum areas that's making plenty of money. I guess they hold no money, but they're not living like it is. I'm getting myself and my family up out of that. I'm not raising my kids in it if I got the means to get them out of it. And that thing, they will continue to raise the kids in that atmosphere instead of moving them out, get them into a better area of the town, better schools, and all this other stuff. They looking at, I'm not spending no money. I'm saving money, but you're really not, because you're damaging your kids. You better yourself so you can better your family. So that means you got to make those decisions. You got to move out them areas. You got to get somewhere better for your kids to live. That's the only way they'll start seeing it. So that's my thing on it.
How do you get to that point, right? If you've
Shit.
never seen anything
Oh crap!
if you've never seen anything outside of what you've seen, how do you know that there's a better life on the other side? Or how do you know what it's like on the other side if you've never been introduced to it?
Man, I told my homeboy, and I asked him, I said, you will never tired again being broke or being poor? Because he asked me the same thing, what made me leave? I said, I was tired of being poor. You ain't tired of being poor? And he had to sit there and think, because I'm retiring. He just getting his life together. You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
He stayed there. I left. And I was like, you never get tired of being poor, man? And so that would make my decision.
Okay. All right, I got you.
Yeah.
Do y'all think most of us follow suit from what it is that we, how can I say this? What it is that we saw.
Product of our environment.
Yeah, I guess you could put it like, that.
Yeah, I think if you're a person who's not strong-willed enough, you're constantly looking back, using that as a crutch. Well, things are this way because, so and so, instead of thinking about the fact that you're a grown person yourself and that you can be in control and, make a difference in your life. Because, the way I grew up, not saying that I ain't see people love each other, but nobody didn't really have anything,
Mhm.
and I said my life wasn't going to be that way. And
Okay.
you have to be in control of yourself. You can't, blame your future or your presence on your past.
There it is.
Okay.
It's
I
always opportunity. You just have to take them.
we agree with that. Like she couldn't have that no better. Strong will is all you need. I'm telling you that if you don't have the will, you will never see a way.
But you know what I am seeing now with a lot of parents with their kids? The parents are afraid the kids, they don't want the kids to leave them.
Oh, go.
So they're not supporting their kids going and doing better things. They don't want them to leave them. So they would talk them out of doing certain things that would better their lives.
Or maybe they supporting them a little too much.
Exactly.
Too.
But they literally will subconsciously talk them out of going and do stuff. Even college. I've seen that. Kids go off to school, the parents make them feel so bad for being away that the kids come home and don't go back.
No,
Yeah.
or they tell them, I'm not helping you pay for school. You got paid to stay here.
That too.
So
Yeah.
now what are you going to do? You're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Is it
Yeah.
is it a parent's responsibility to pay for their child's
N-
extra education?
It's not that it's the parents' responsibilities to per se, but you put your child in a situation where they can't afford to do it. So what do? You're telling them, well, you have to pay rent to stay here. So now they got to go get a job, or they can't. You want to charge them. I know someone who said their parent was getting some type of Section 8 housing, and their rent was $83 a month, but she was charging him $400 a month.
Mhm. Yes, sir. They still will. Yeah.
Getting supported by your own parents. That's crazy.
Okay, so listen, let me ask you this.
And now they had to go and work, and jobs. When you're young, jobs are not paying that much, so you're trying to pay, your mother rent.
Okay,
Yes.
so let me ask you this. Would they have had to pay rent if they moved out of their mother's house?
Yes. No, what I'm just saying is you asked a question about how things would be done sometimes. Or Mr. Nobody said, this is what parents do. I was just giving an example of what they do to try to hinder their child. Because sometimes parents don't want to see their child grow either. They just don't want to see them do better than them. I mean, it happens.
And like she's saying, they on Section 8. Now, if they move out, yes, they would have to.
To pay
And
rent.
if she moved, she would have to. But to monetize her situation off your kids when you're getting it free, that's ridiculous. Now, if the kid's gonna stay there, and this is my whole thing, if grown kids gonna be staying here, they need to have a plan. So that plan will be, yeah, you can stay here. You need to save your money. First, you got to come up with a plan what you want to do in the next 6 to 8 months. All right. Now you need to be putting this money away. I don't want to see you going out partying every other night. You have a plan. You working, you saving money so you can find a way to get out of here. And just like I did my youngest son, when he got out of school, I told him, I will help you pay half your rent while you down there at school. He had a job. He got, he had this little thing going on. I'll help you pay half of that. Because I want him to learn how to live out on his own. And so I did that while he was for the next 2 years while he went to get his MBA. Now he handling his own stuff. He just got a job now making a killing. He's only 24 years old. He's off my
He's
bank
single.
account. He's off us now.
Very good, Dad.
He's
Yeah.
single.
No, he got some girl. He got dating a lawyer.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying. See,
I'm just-
he dating his girlfriend just got her passed the bar a year ago.
Congrats, Dad.
I'm just
Yeah.
curious to know though, is that a parent being mean to a child? Because when I graduated high school, and I knew from the time I was 8 years old, once I graduate, that's it, yo. It's it's the real deal. And so I started paying rent. You know what I'm saying? At that point in time. And I didn't look at it as, my pops was being mean to me or whatever. It's like it's the real world. I would have, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna pay rent no matter where I was at. And so I paid rent. I still had access to the refrigerator. So, I didn't
Right.
I had an advantage.
But I gotta give him a
because I
plan
had
because
food and stuff like that. But that was his way of teaching me, like, son, this is the real world now. Like it
Yeah.
is what it is. If
He
I
will
wasn't
teach
here,
you
you would have to
if
do.
someone is living free, just about free, and you're charging someone X. So he didn't know that his mother had this Section 8, whatever. So now you're charging money for him to stay there. You're not saving the money. My grandmother used to, when I used to pay her rent, she put that money to the side. And when it was time for me to move, she gave me this lump sum of money.
right, that's what you would do with it.
Some parents are just taking the money and spending it. And now you still don't have no money. Your child has no money to do anything because they've been working to pay you. And now everyone's still sitting in the same boat. So how is that helpful?
I get what you're saying, but are you as a parent obligated to fund your child once they're an adult? That's all I'm
It
asking.
depends. I
Well,
think
this
it
is the
depends on
thing.
the
It's not
situation.
obligated. It's not obligated. It's you're gonna continue to support your child. You don't have to, but if you don't, it's gonna come back on you. Because unless you like seeing your child out here doing bad in the streets, you're gonna be going out there trying to get him back, get his head back right. Versus, I got him on a certain way. I'm gonna keep him on this. I'm just gonna teach him as it goes. Because a lot of people cut them off. I was a recruiter for 10 years. I had so many kids. Once they hit 18, their parents literally told me, well, they're 18. I can't tell them what to do no more. And pretty much just sat them in front of me. I'm like, shit, I'm not their parent.
But I mean, that seems like a situation where the parent didn't prepare the child. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I
That's
already
most
knew
what we're
what it
saying. A lot
was.
of them not preparing the kids. That's the whole point.
I already knew, you know what I'm saying, what it was. So,
But your dad
when
prepared you.
when
You
I
even had a dad.
graduated,
You even had a dad. So you was ahead 80% of us. I ain't never seen a dad. You know what I'm saying? So I had 2 conversations with. So I didn't know anything when I got out of high school, but go to work somewhere.
But to answer
Nobody
the
talked to me
question,
about college. Nobody
that's
talked to me
all I
about
knew too.
right. That's all I knew to do. Go to
That's
work.
all I
And that's
knew
what I
too.
did.
You know,
And then I just like, I'm tired doing it this way. I was doing construction. I'm doing grown people stuff. And I was like, it got to be a better way because I wasn't dumb in school. I wasn't dumb in school. So I was like, why am I doing it this way? Took my ass up there. I was like, I want to travel anyway, get up out of here. Military probably my best option.
so was a
Jumped
parent
in.
obligated? No.
Jumped in. 27 years later, I jumped out. And now I'm chilling. Best decision I ever made in my life. Gave me structure, discipline, made me grow up, do everything I need to do. Everything I need to do as a man, I learned it throughout the military. No lie.
I got you.
And that's about being around other men. It ain't just what the military, just being around men that know how to be men and know how to be men in the moment. You know what I mean? That's a big difference.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, I was told straight out the gate, this is what it is.
Yeah, but see, like I said, you had a pops telling you stuff down the line. So I need to get this work on. I need to make this money. I need to keep my head straight. I can't be out here in these streets playing around. So you already knew that. See, me, no, I was being a knucklehead.
I believe it.
Who said that? Which one of y'all said that? Right there.
Wait for that moment.
Right there. See, you're trying to be like this one now, right here. See, now you're like this
Why
one.
you?
There
Stop it. Stop it. My daughter, she just turned 18 10 days ago, and she's graduating this year, but
Do you feel
she
obligated?
ain't ready. She ain't ready for this world. She not ready.
Who
Keep
is?
her home. Keep her home.
These kids are
send her
not
home.
ready like we were. They are not, man. these 18-year-old kids still have like a 13-year-old mindset.
Not all of them.
Yeah, she hasn't been dating anybody or anything of that nature. She not ready
They
at all.
don't know how to make friends. They don't want to make friends. They think they can go in this, don't have to talk to nobody. Like you can't go off to school not talk to nobody.
They don't even
Got
want to
some
talk to you.
social skills.
I think everyone's situation is different. Are parents obligated? They're not obligated, but if you want your child to be successful, you have to figure out, like you said, teach them as they're growing, maybe from a young age. My daughter is 19. She went away to college for her first year. She didn't like it, but she did stay for 1 year. She came home. She's working. Luckily, she got a job that pays for her college, so she's back in school, but she's going to school online.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, but I also make both of my daughters live with me, and I'm like, no one's going to stay here for free. I'll pay the rent because nobody's going to tell me about nothing about my place. But you're going to pay a light bill and a gas bill. So each of you take a bill.
Give them a plan. When you gonna hold them there till they finish school, or what's the plan?
Yes, until she finished school. The other one, I told her you gotta work on getting your money saved because they moved down here with me recently. So work on saving your money so you can get your own place because mama gotta have a life too.
Yeah, I mean, give your kids timelines. When my son got his first 4 years out of school, me and my wife gave him a timeline, gave him 6 months to find a job, off the bat. And what that made him do was start grinding because he know we don't play about that stuff. So he started grinding. Boom, got him a job within 4 months. He worked it for a little bit. It didn't work out. He got another job. That job he did for 2 years working for a bank.
Okay.
Like I said, he finished out, got his MBA. As soon as he got his MBA, 6 months later, got another job offer. That job offer made $20,000 more than what he had. So now, like I said, he's sitting there 24, making almost 70 grand.
That's good.
And so that's his second job. You see what I'm saying? So number upward after that. And then this job is going to put him in so many different positions because it's in banking. So that within the next 3 years, he will be easily making 100,000. Easy. Probably
And
next 2 years. Yeah.
That's the goal for my youngest because she also said she wants to move to Japan. She's going to school for cybersecurity.
Yeah, Japan is expensive.
But she don't have no children. She told me she's not having any.
I mean, yeah, she can go. Yeah, Japan ain't. She might want to do some research. They say it's a little racist out that way.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, they don't.
in America, not.
Better do a little homework before you go out there.
He said America is not.
Right. I mean, but thing is, at least you'll be around Americans.
You know what
you
you
won't be
got.
in a country just other people.
You don't know what you.
Unless she's been overseas before.
No, I would like to do it as a trip for her 25th birthday.
Right. Because see, the thing, a lot of people have never been overseas into another country. You think they're friendly, but they don't live like us and they don't think like us.
Right.
And so you thinking you cool with all this, and you might think they're racist, but no, they just don't live like that. And you're not part of that community.
True.
You know, so they'll treat you like that. So many people treat you like shit now. It look good on TV, but they'll treat you like crap. You see a couple black girls talking about it online. It's how they'll treat them in the subways and all that other stuff.
All right, check it out. So, right, so we're gonna get back to the topic. Before I do that, right, we're gonna give a shout out to Reg. Reg, what's good? What's good, man? I saw your comment. Also, man, he said that's what's up, man. When you talk about your son and the accomplishments that
okay, cool. Appreciate it.
Son, you know.
Where you seeing comments at, man? Because I've got your stuff. I don't see the comments.
It just popped up on my screen, so I seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I see him.
Yeah. So look, man, we're gonna get back to this topic real quick, and I'm just gonna close it out on this by just going around to everybody. Do you think a relationship can last, or do you think a relationship will be functional if the roles are reversed, where the woman is more masculine and the man is more feminine? Can it be a balance, or does it matter where the balance is? Does the man have to be in his masculinity and the woman have to be in her femininity, or could it be reversed and it still work? I'm gonna start with you, Nobi.
All I'm gonna say is no.
Nah, it ain't.
I'm speaking from experience. I felt in my previous marriage, I was more masculine because I had to be. I've learned that was not, at this time, I've learned that that wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for the relationship. It wasn't good for our family. Um, so no,
Okay,
I
gotcha.
wouldn't go back to that again.
Gotcha. Chocolate. What about you, Chocolate?
I didn't hear the question.
That
So I
joke
had
be
walked out the
eating.
room.
She be munching.
You be eating all the doggone time. You should be like 400 pounds, man. That joke be
My
eating every
goodness.
time we own. She eating.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Lakita's
You want me
like,
to start?
Go eat.
Lakita, he's not on you right now.
look. So, my question is, will a relationship work if there's an imbalance? So, if a man is not in his masculinity and a woman is not in her femininity, but the roles are reversed, where the woman is more masculine and the man is more feminine, would that relationship work, or does the man have to be masculine, in his masculinity, and the woman have to be in hers? Does it matter? Does that balance matter? Who's in what energy?
I feel like you asked this question already.
I might have. I might have.
It might have
They
been a little
went around
different,
and talked about so many
but it
different
wasn't that
things.
one. It
Man, I'm
wasn't quite.
confused, man.
But I believe that if the balance is off, I mean, I don't know, because it's just so many different type of dynamics of relationships. Like there's one where men don't do that and the woman leads. You know what I mean? And that's just their dynamic. He sleeps on the couch, she sleeps in the room. He pays the bills. He might pay a bill or two, but they've been together for 23 years, or you know
That
what I'm
is
saying?
true.
It's like I don't know, whatever.
So you're saying it can work both ways?
Because I've seen different type of marriages growing up. Like I had an aunt and an uncle that, like I said, he slept on the couch. She sleeps in the room. They had a nice house in the Bronx. She had a good job. My whole family, I don't know how all of them ended up working at the same hospital, but they all worked at the same hospital. They all was getting paid. Okay. And he was just there. I called him uncle. So
Just there.
it was just like when I slept over, he wouldn't sleep on the couch. He'll sleep in the room. They had 2 kids. They kids lived like glam style lives. Like they took care of their kids. They did their thing. That was them. Then I had another aunt that she stopped working and he became the breadwinner. They moved into Long Island, nice house with a pool. Later down the line, things was going wrong, but that's their business. Then I lived with my other aunt who was married to him and she was making more money than him and he had his own business. And did he feel like he was a part of it? No, because I lived there. So I can tell you he didn't, which is why he was cheating with other women. He didn't feel like a man. And he is a man's man. Like he's more masculine to me out of all the men I mentioned. So I could see why it bothered him. But then my aunt was also very masculine. Like she had like 6 jobs.
Mm.
Like
Sound
she had like a career job. She had her own company where she like catered. She would make the baby shower chairs. She would do cleaning. She did a lot. Like she taught me all of that stuff. So it's like, damn, like she made bank. Like we go on vacation 3-4 times a year. Like, but it was a full family house. Like my grandmother lived there. Everybody lived, they was renting the upstairs. So they was getting money from that. Like they were just like, damn, they was just making it work, but they're still married. Like, so I don't know. Like it just whatever
They just
works.
don't want to destroy the bag. See,
That could be it.
remember I talked about that earlier. How some people they see the bigger picture in it.
Yeah.
They don't want to. We ain't messing all this up just because we ain't getting along. We
And
can
when
live
they throw
together.
parties, because now they live in Atlanta in a big ass house. When they throw parties, Oh my God. He cook, she cook, like he know he the grill outside, she the inside the house with the rest of my aunts and my grandmother, and now the cousins, we all gotta be in, the kitchen cooking and whatever. And the dudes are outside. That's just how it goes. The dynamic goes when we go over there.
Yeah, just
Okay.
It's just whatever
gotta
works.
make it work, man. Whatever
Right.
works.
All right. Mem No S. What you say, Mem No S?
I don't know. She took all the air out the room with her comment. I don't know what to say now. Um,
She took your answer.
yeah, but I ain't go through all that with my family. I just feel like whatever works for you, pretty much. But like you said, a man ain't gonna feel like a man if if that had it, if the female doing all the work. If you a masculine man is not gonna feel masculine if his woman's doing everything. I say that. But if that
Right.
works for them, that's what works for them. I can't go in somebody else's relationship and say that's not gonna, it ain't gonna fly. I ain't in a relationship. That's their business. Um, for me, I think it wouldn't work with the female running the show. Because then say some shit happens, say something come up, you want to put your 2 cents in, you can't because you ain't running that. She running that.
Hmm.
Then what you gonna do? You looking at you just stuck at that point.
Why you
As
feel
soon
like
as she said, it's on. As soon as she said,
You
it's on.
can't say nothing.
So you don't
You
think
gotta just sit back in your little corner like, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
if you stepped up and said something, if you was the type of guy that said, okay, you know what, I'm kind of laid back, so I'll let her do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. But then when it's time for me to step up and say, hey, look, this ain't going down like this, it's going down like that. You don't think that she would respect the fact that you stood up at this point and you know what I'm saying? Chose
I see what
to
you're saying, but I say no because you ain't running the show. She is.
so
Now, if you
gotta
if
run
you
it.
the lead, go ahead. Now if you the lead, then yeah, you can say what you want to say because you running it. You the lead. You the head. But if you're not the head, if you taking the back seat, nah. You stepping up to say what? Just to get shut back down? You shouldn't even said nothing. You shouldn't even brought it up.
So when you lead, you just gotta lead complete from beginning to end. You can't fall back and then step up and then
I mean,
fall
your
back.
woman should trust you anyway. So if you say something, you're making that decision for the both of y'all. You're not just making it for you because it's both of y'all running. I mean, it's both of y'all in it. But if she's the lead and you not playing second, nah.
Yeah, this ain't gonna work out.
Yeah, you can't say nothing. Like I said, you suck.
Okay. All right. Understood. Who else? Anybody else want to jump in on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with both of them on this. I've seen it both ways, and it comes down to me. It comes down to how you want to run your household. Now, if you good with that, then that's gonna work. Like what Chuck the God said, that man's good with that because he know that woman bringing in cheddar, and he know if he leave, he ain't gonna find not another woman that's gonna do all this shit for him.
Nope.
So he don't mind that, and she might just be giving him some good, manly um rights in the house, I guess. Like she don't care, like he might need to handle some other thing when she need him to handle some things. And so you don't know with that dynamic. A lot of women out here, like I said, they're out here doing better, and the guy's there, but they still let that guy have some of that. But when you just there and the woman running everything, and you try to say something, she shuts you down, that ain't gonna work. And it's shut down based because this my stuff, I'm paid for this. You ain't paid for none of this. That's when that's gonna go left. But you have these dudes out here. I had a homeboy. I thought he was gonna mess around and come out. That's how bad. That's how feminine he started acting. And his girl was acting like a dude. She went and got this big old tattoo on her arm and stuff. And I was like, this shit is so reverse. But then she ended up cheating on him
Damn.
and was bringing the dude to the house. And he come home from lunch and the dude be in the house. And he
Wow.
come back to work and start crying.
Look at Lucky's face.
I want to grab him like this and just shake him.
Take his ass.
I go in his office. He's sitting in the dark, like it's like a movie, man. He's sitting in the dark with the light. You know, he had them little small lights, and you just see a shadow. That's how it was in the corner. He's sitting there with his head down. I said, man, if you don't get up,
Wow.
man, I love her. I swear, I swear, I started to slap that dude. I ain't gonna lie. I swear I did because you allowed this to happen. And know what the biggest thing was? He wouldn't have sex with her.
He
Huh?
what?
He
He
wouldn't
what?
have sex with her. He wouldn't have sex with her. She begging him to have sex with her.
So why wouldn't he have sex with her?
I don't know. He said, I just can't roll over like that and do that. I have to be in a certain mood. Right then, I knew right there. I said, bro, you want to save your marriage? You better go pop you one of them pills and get busy.
Wait.
I said, I don't know what's going on, but that will fix it. If you having a problem, go get you a pill, get you one of the
And
blue
the
pills,
woman
and
is
go fix your
asking him
problem.
for it, and he still wouldn't do it.
The woman told us she been begging him, trying to get him to have sex, and he always
Well,
come up with
yeah, she
excuse
gonna go
and
out
go
and
to
get it
sleep.
somewhere else.
So when she did do that, I knew it was gonna happen, and they end up splitting up over it. Big split up.
Wait, is he okay?
Wow.
Yeah, but I think he might have went the other way. I ain't heard from him in a couple of years now, so
No, I'm talking about, is he okay down there?
I don't know. But the blue pill would have fixed it. That's why I told him I ain't want to ask if anything wasn't working down. I just said go get a blue pill and get two if you need it, but go home and take care of your wife, man. You got to
Is
take
that
care of home first. You can't be doing whatever. You got to take care of home. Go home, take care of, because that's what she wants. That's all she asked for.
And you was
They had nice cars, nice house. House was nice inside. He was buying all kind of stuff, driving nice
overcome?
cars. But they was given the illusion that they was a good family, going to church and all this. But when they get back to the house,
It was
like that.
World
Yeah.
War II.
They
Crazy.
didn't even argue. They just go handle their own business. But looking up now, it's like I said, everything financially where they was doing things was working. But then when they got to the point where we just looking like we happy versus you won't even touch me, and
Yeah, that's a problem.
that became a problem. And
That's a big problem.
she started doing it and throwing it. And then the thing is, she did it with a bomb.
Her what?
A
Huh?
bomb. A bomb. She did it with a bomb.
Oh,
'Cause
a
then
bomb. I thought you said with her thumb. I'm about to say,
No.
what's going on
no,
here?
a bomb. Y'all little thumbs.
It was like a thumb. I said they
What
took
the
me a
hell?
thumb.
It wasn't just me
No.
then. It wasn't
No.
just me.
Oh, that storyline sounds familiar.
No, y'all talked about that. What are y'all talking about that the other day? Talking about some bomb up your bum or thumb up your bum or some shit. But no.
I missed that conversation.
Yeah, I missed
Yeah.
that too.
That was your girl Mims talking crazy.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But no, he ended up they ended up splitting up, man. It was just a big thing, but that was the biggest thing. He wouldn't stop having sex. It was just crazy. It's like he literally was the woman, she was the man.
Dang.
But he was making the money. He was making the money. He was buying all this stuff, and he was taking care of her. But she just couldn't get past. But she chose a dude that lived with his sister and all this other shit. So when he put her out, she went. That was she
You
went.
had no place to go.
No,
Wow.
and then they end up. She damn near was homeless after that.
Well, that
But they
sounds
lost
about
the house.
same,
But
that's
they end up
fine.
losing the house because it messed up the whole thing. Because now they lost the house and all this other stuff. He went and bought another place. She didn't have the money to get a place. So like I said, just messed it all up when he could have easily fixed this problem.
Did they mess it up, or were they just not? He just couldn't get it up for her.
Well, when I say he messed it up, is he should have did what he was supposed to do. But if she was gonna leave him, she should have left him for somebody who had something.
Or she
That's how I
should.
mean.
Or they should.
But isn't that the way it always happens, the opposite way around?
I mean, either way,
What you mean the opposite way
if I'm
around?
gonna leave my wife, I ain't
Meaning
gonna
when
leave
it
my
comes
wife for
to
nobody that's
men,
doing
like
less than my wife.
when
Shit.
they mess up, it's somebody, it's not even worth it. Isn't
But the
that the
thing
same
is, y'all
storyline?
always the thing is you always got somebody else that's less that's trying to get what you have. And they will cater to his ego quick because they know how to do that. And we'll get lazy because we used to it. So we're not trying hard no more. And I mean both of us, man and woman. So it's easy for somebody to come in and cater to a dude ego who ain't never been told the last 2 years that he ain't shit. And just like even if it's a woman, if you in a relationship for 2 or 3 years and your husband ain't never said nothing nice to you or did nothing, it ain't hard for a dude to come in and sweep you off your feet.
It is hard because you ain't paying.
It's hard for you. It's hard for you. It's gonna be hard for you.
If I have one
It's
at
gonna be
home,
hard
why
for
the
you.
hell do you think I want one in the street if I don't even like the one at home? I don't like none of y'all at this point.
No. I ain't talking about that dude. I'm talking about the dude that's
No,
coming
but
for
I'm
y'all.
just
He
saying
got
I
stuff
would look.
together.
No, Even I'm just saying, like, if you're even when I was married and we were going through what we were going through, I looked at it as I already have one of y'all in the house. Why the hell would I want one of y'all out there?
Well, it seems like a lot of people want them.
I don't want none of y'all. Y'all all crazy.
And
Women,
women, oh my good. Yo, next week on this episode,
right? How crazy is crazy? Oh,
Uh,
it's a woman. That's what.
I so Lakita, I don't think you spoke on it. You got something you want to say, or you good?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So let me see. We hit the 2 hour spot. I appreciate everybody for jumping on here. Conversation was pretty interesting, although it did take a couple of turns,
yeah,
A
it went on
lot of turns,
tangent.
unexpected turns.
and it kept you turning.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all taking time out of y'all schedule to jump on here. Reg, appreciate you for jumping on, Reg. Appreciate Mem No S, Mr. Nobody, Lakita, Chocolate God, Nobody, and the OG Mems for hopping on here. And we'll be back next week.
All right,
I have
peace.
something interesting to talk about. Y'all keep sending me those clips. Nobi, you be ODing with them clips.
When I finally leave work, I could actually look at stuff.
All right. So next week we probably talk about something that you sent through. All right.
All right, let me know.
All right. All right. And if y'all got any clips y'all want to send me. You know what I'm saying? And we could we could jump on here and talk about it. All right. With that being said, everybody, I appreciate for y'all for jumping in here, and we catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good.
All right. Have a good evening.